Hey everyone, it's Tim and Falconet. I am back with another episode of Road to 1K Season 4. And today's match is going to be this Tier 4 Fog match against Stokes 52 on Cross Country Rivalry. Cross Country Rivalry. Yes, that's what it's called. It's going to be a Jake versus Jess map, so... and because it's Fog, honestly, I feel like this is... Just out of the gate, from a CEO selection, it's basically over. That being said, Jake has won over Jazz 53% of the time on this map, and it's a 50-50 FTA sort of split, so I mean, it's okay. It's an okay map. It's a bit of a smaller map, meaning like Adder and Cole aren't like that great on it. Yeah, well, actually, no, it's because it's base light, so there isn't going to be as much infantry as you might expect. And honestly, base light is pretty good for Jess as well, because it means she doesn't have to deal with infantry pavement as much. Because you're going to be varying a lot of your funds into just vehicles, because that's what you're going to be able to afford, and then you're not going to have enough production space for the infantry. The other thing that Jess really likes about this map is the fact that the airports are both blocked off to start out with. And what that does is it means that all she has to do really is just spam tanks. And she doesn't have to worry about pesky battlecopters or anything like that, really. She doesn't have to worry about anti-air build order either for like a while until her opponent decides to move in and like an infantry or even a mech maybe, but probably an infantry to take out this. So there's that. The other thing is like you get pretty good vision here from the missiles. So what you can do is, well, you have two options. Either you like slowly march your infantry all the way over here. You can also build an APC to get it over here a little bit faster. And then you can delete the missiles if you want to just open up the airport side. But honestly, with extra 5 vision, like it's almost enough vision to see the comm tower. But you do see a lot of these properties as well. So you can see a good amount of the action here just from this missile. So it does bring in a bit of the dilemma as to whether you want to build like however you want to keep the missile there or like destroy it. And it's an interesting little thing. As Jess, you kind of always want to just keep the missile because like the vision by itself is going to be super worth it. Yeah, that being said, it's one comm tower as well, and that's really good for Jess because it means that she can just roll over everything, wall break everything with a single comm tower, whereas like Adder Gold can't. That's actually the main reason I think why they're not that good is because it's single comm tower. Yeah, so I think that's why they're down to 45%. Adder is, even though Jess is only at 45%, I feel like she's definitely the best pick on this map. For the reasons I brought up earlier. And yeah, so 50, I don't see any bands. I don't know if it shows up in this menu though. It's kind of weird. Oh well. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the replay. So I'm starting out with Jess in the top right, because that's me. And just spreading out the infantry as best you can. My opponent's actually base skipping for a recon. Huh. I don't think that's the move, especially as Jake. Like, I mean, sure, you can get to these areas a little bit faster, but like, I don't think it, you could have just waited a turn. I don't think you needed it that turn. Like, the infantry is going to be a lot more valuable because considering this is a base light map, so that's the thing. You don't really need it that early on, as early on as you made it. So, I'm going a second recon here, actually. Double recon. It's an okay opening, especially considering that I'm going to be able to have enough money to start spamming tanks next turn. And I sort of want to tank chain as well if I can. So, going double recon allows me to see where my opponent is. I think building from this base with the tank is probably better though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then it just gets you closer to the comm tower. It gets you a lot more openings here, I think. So. He does move in with the recon here, annoyingly, so I go in and do the recon on recon shenanigans. So, but hopefully he's not able to finish off my infantry. Actually, no, it's going to be 39, 45. Yeah, so they're not going to be able to finish me off. Oh, I actually fall back. Interesting. Okay, but I've got, so if he wants to try and finish me off, he can, but then he'll lose his 300 response for my tank, so. Yeah, maybe not that worth it, all things considered. My infantry actually do a good amount to the missiles here. As you can see, they do around 20%, so it takes about 5 turns for an infantry to whittle that thing down. So you don't really need to waste time with an APC or a mech or anything like that. He's spamming artillery a little bit, which I don't think is the move either. Jake's, it might be good because that's all he could really afford. So, and like with Jake artillery is actually not that bad because like with Block Rock, or even from his little power, that extra range can be huge, especially if his artillery is on like planes and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna end up being that. I don't think it's gonna end up making that much of a difference here. Especially considering I'm gonna be able to just roll through with my tanks. As jets. So actually go for the interrupt there. Interesting. I think it was probably to scout at the force to see if the artillery was moving or not. I'm going anti-air. It may look a little bit early to be doing this, but the reason I'm doing it like this is so that I can get it here by the time he's got it captured. I think it might be a little bit early for that though. I think a tank there might have been a little bit better, but I do also want to start being able to take out the infantry a little bit easier, and the anti-air will help with that. So. Plus, I also sort of want him to see it in this area so that he doesn't really go for building any battlecopters, although it might be better for him to just build them and then for me to just take him out with the anti-air. I don't know. I believe I was able to see, yeah, I was able to see him move the artillery into that forest. So I know it's in there. There's not really much I can do to break through the infantry here right now, so I'm just waiting for him to move with all his infantry and stuff. Like, he's not going to be able to do anything against this recon, so. He does surround my tank there and take it out. Well, almost take it out, but he's going to be able to take it out next turn for sure. He actually pops feet down. Oh, that's what he's doing. So he's going to be able to take out my recon there and then start capping there, which is actually a pretty good move, honestly. It's not bad, it's not bad. And as you can see, now that he can afford the tanks, he's starting to spam them out a little bit more. So as you can see, the early artillery were actually pretty good for Jake on this map. You don't even need the Flames Firepower boost from them to be able to like do a good amount of stuff with them. So now I pop Turbocharge and I'm able to just move in with my tanks. So take out most of the artillery there. Start capping there as well. I don't know, this kind of feels like a bit of a weak push, honestly. But I do have a good amount of units in this area. I think I might be overextending a little bit. But I do have a bit of a charge weight on him for the time being. So we'll see how much this ends up holding up. So he goes for that. He actually takes out my tank. Yeah, with the... Well, actually, no, he doesn't take out like that tank. He surrounds it. And since it's at 1 health, there's not much I'm going to be able to do with it. Even if I manage to save it and send it for repairs, it would kind of just be a drain at this point. Repairs are only really worth it if you're like Andy or Hawk and you can get repairs for your powers. Or if you or only take like maybe a hit from a like vehicle. So taking a 1 tank hit isn't that big of a deal, but taking like 2 plus a recon is like, no, there's not much I'm gonna be able to do with that from here on out. So I push in here. I leave my anti-air back here because I know he's got some stuff back here. I believe. Well, no, he took out the recon before he moved into the tank, but I'm kind of expecting him to have some tanks or something like that at this point. So, and as you can see, I'm actually behind a little bit on unit count at this point. I am ahead in value on the board for the time being. 69, but it is pretty close, all things considered. So he takes out that cap there, takes out like a bunch of my tanks as well. So that was a pretty good turn for him. And then I just push in like that. I've still got a bunch of properties in this area, but I can start capping. Whereas he doesn't really have anything that he can do with his infantry at this point. So, and I'm actually going to move in to try and get him to push into me there with his stuff. So he actually does, he's leaving his artillery in there, so that's interesting. Looks like he pivoted all his tanks and stuff down here. So I am going to be able to start making a little bit of headway in this area for here, but he is like taking out all of my tanks here, which isn't that great. So I'm able to spot his artillery and take a good chunk of it out. It looks like I got rid of the other artillery that he had here as well. Yeah, at this point I'm starting to take a little bit of an income lead. So I'm starting to grab up these properties that have been out of the commission for basically this entire time. So, okay, he's got the battlecopter now. Yeah, I just moved that in there to see everything here. Honestly, that was a bit of a aggressive recon move, but yeah, I'll be able to do some stuff with it. So take out that guy, move back with this guy for healing. So he'll be fine. It's still salvageable with that guy. I'm able to move in like that with the medium tank and this guy as well, so that'll be fine. And then I'm like halfway to my next power as well. That's not like the end of the world either. Because I got the Jets battlecopter here, we're gonna be able to do a good amount of stuff with that in this area nowadays. Now that his anti-air is a little bit weaker. Whereas he can't really do much. Well, I mean, he's gonna start sending these guys down. We'll see. But basically, this is I have control of this area. I sort of have control of this area as well, for the time being. Especially like with this guy here. Considering that Jake doesn't have a movement power, well, I don't know. We'll see. But I think I might be able to just wall off this. I'm going to be able to wall off this area. I think that's pretty much guaranteed here. I have enough money to get out a Neo Tank as well. And that's going to be a nightmare for him to deal with here. So yeah. He's going to move in like that, but he's not going to be able to break through the line here, actually, at all. Like, no way in hell is he going to be able to break through the line. So I'm going to be... This comm tower is actually secured for me at this point. And then I saw his tank move in there, so I'm going to just... I'll move back there, actually. That's interesting. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move in with the anti-air, I think. So I turbocharge to take a chunk out of his artillery. Oh, I also got the first strike on his medium tank because he tried to push in through there against my tank. I don't think there's any chance. Well, we'll see. Let's see. Medium tank into tank on planes. No, I don't think so. Even with the 20% boost, since the tank was completely healthy, there's no way that he's actually able to do anything, break through that tank with the medium tank there. He's going to be able to do a lot to it, but he's not going to be able to break through it. If he had had his power ready, he would have been able to, though. So he pops a beat down here. He's going to be able to get a good amount of damage off, but he doesn't have... The weakness of beatdown is that he doesn't have much of a... He doesn't have that much of a movement bonuses for his vehicles is the issue. Like, Block Rocket is amazing because it gives you an extra 2 movement on your vehicles. But, like... whatever with everything else, and then from here on out I'm going to be able to just sort of sweep in this area because yeah, he's out of power charge, so like there's not much he can do with that artillery. He has battlecopters in this area, but oh yeah, there we go. And then right there I've got that secured, so now I don't need to worry about his battlecopters anymore as soon as I take out these two, so I can actually kind of just outproduce him with the battlecopters at this point and win that way. That being said, he is making a little bit of headway here with this guy. Like, he's still not out of it yet. He's got a good amount of money, he's got a good amount of unit count still remaining, so it's not like that big of a deal, but I just go ahead and take out that joint cap with the battlecopter plus the infantry there. Finish off his medium tank with mine, which I'm not sure how guaranteed this roll is. 4854. I imagine that he's got a little bit of extra luck damage on him, so this isn't like that big of a deal. Let's see here. Get a like with 2 comm towers, just his battlecopters actually do end up doing a good amount here. Like this is against a 9 health, but like even if we're against a 10 health, it'd still be a pretty good engagement. It wouldn't be as good, but so I'd take a little bit of damage here, but since he's got the anti in the area, it doesn't really matter, right? So, moving in with the Neo Tank at this point as well is going to be really good for me. Taking out his battlecopter there is huge because now he's like, we've got no more air support. So now I don't need to worry about that even at this point, so I can just spam Neo Tanks at this point, honestly, and win that way. The Batcopter goes down, but it's kind of done its job at this point, so... and then he just goes ahead and resigns. Because... And like at this point, there's no... He's basically toast. He's down in income. I'm about to secure this cap, basically. This one is going to be sort of close, but I'm going to get this next turn as well. So, like, he's already down in income. He's already down in... he's already down in firepower. He's gonna be down in production as well, since I'm gonna have 2 airports. Like, what I could even do is just, which could be funny, is just start doing just bombers. Not that they'd be good, but, well, considering that he's not going to be able to do anything with fighters, that actually wouldn't be that bad, because, like, I'm going to have enough money to start spamming bombers, and he's going to have to start, he would have to still divert some of his funds to anti-air, and then I can just pressure him out with, like, Neo Tanks and stuff, because he's not going to be able to afford much that way. I think what my opponent's mistake, well, his main mistake here, I think, was this turn. Yeah, it was definitely this turn, because yeah, there's no way you could get to his power, like, no way in hell. I believe I had revealed my medium tank at this point. Yeah, he definitely knew I had a medium tank in the area. I had a second one in the backup as well. So, because this anti-air is damaged, it's not going to break through. He's not going to be able to break through this tank. He's not going to be able to break through this recon either, because this tank is perfectly healthy. If it hadn't been perfectly healthy, I would say it might have made sense for him to move in like that. But because it wasn't, there's just no chance of him breaking through there with a medium tank. And because he's not able to really see this recon well enough, he's not going to be able to break through here either, so... yeah, I think it all came down to this turn. Had he not moved in with the medium tank there, he could have just moved in with the tank, gotten a decent first strike on it. And then that would have been fine, because instead of being able to move in for free with my medium tank like I was able to, well, with my medium tanks like I was able to, it would have been a bit tougher for me to just take complete control of this area like that. That being said, I did get a little bit lucky with the placement of this medium tank, because it's out of range of this artillery here, but yeah, and then, like, before this turn, he was actually kind of beating me overall. Well, actually, that's not exactly true, because I had control of a lot of properties in both of these areas. I think the other thing that he didn't end up doing was dealing with my anti-air effectively at all. Like, he took out the tank, and I fall back, and then he just moves the tank down this way. And then I've got the anti-air, and then I'm able to just take out his infantry and stuff, meaning that I'm able to move in with the infantry there, take out the battlecopter even. Like, at this point, he should have recognized that I had my infantry in position to move on to his airport. So what he should have done there was probably just transport copter maybe, so that I couldn't seize control of it. Because if I'm able to just take this for basically 3 at this point. Because he moves. The other thing that he does is he moves his battlecopter out of the way. Like, he moves. As soon as he lost his infantry in this area, he should have recognized that this infantry was in range to start capping here. And I think that was another really big mistake on his part. Because I was able to just take this, and then that's an extra. Not only does it mean that he can't build more battlecopters, which, like, it's okay, but since I do have the anti-air in this area, it's like he can pivot them down like that, and they can make it to this line. And like that's fine and all, but really what he should be focused on more so is the fact that I'm actually that's also an income swing, and he's already behind in income. I think was the main issue here. Plus, at this point now, I don't need to worry about his battlecopters at all. So with Jess's vehicle spam, she can just keep on spamming vehicles like she wants to. It doesn't have to worry about the air units at all anymore at that point. So that's why my opponent ended up losing it. It honestly just came down to a couple turns here where I was able to hold the line here, and then when I was able to grab this. I think that had he decided to invest a little bit more time in this area with his tanks, like he could have just gone full in here for a little bit longer with his tanks, and then started capping this area with his infantry even. But since I was able to hold on to this area for like 5, 6, 7 turns, that started adding up income-wise, and that ended up giving me a nice big of swing as well. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. Next week should be this the Doom day 11, maybe the 28th vlog game. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be enough of a match. We'll see. If you enjoyed, go ahead and like and subscribe and all that other nonsense, and I will see you guys in the next one.